Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com.
All right, so we're back, and what an incredible morning it's been. So make sure you continue to stay tuned because we've got many, many incredible people to introduce you to where we unlock the secrets and find out what makes them so successful. And thank you for the feedback we continue to have when I had the founder of CNBC on. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Why? Because it is the only place where entrepreneurs align. And we have with us David Greenberg, president of Greenberg Capital, and he was the former executive board and board member of the New York Mercantile Exchange, where he oversaw a decade of the largest growth from 800 million to 12 billion. He can be reached by going to daviddouglasgreenberg.com. And of course, we'll have it on our website at Eliances.com. So David, welcome to the show. First of all, what was it like seeing the growth from 800 million to $12 billion?
Well, it was quite fascinating. I mean, what people don't know is that the New York Mercantile Exchange was the place where the world's oil was traded, and the gold and silver and copper. And we were the guys, not the stock market guys. We were the guys that were screaming and yelling and spit on it. Anybody saw the movie Trading Places. And, we grew over about a 10-year period. I brought Bain Capital into, value the exchange at 800 million. And then between a few unique Gulf wars and hurricanes and new products and everything, the IPO price was supposed to be $59. That's where the banker said it. And our first print was 129, which really showed the value of the exchange and what we did with it from going electronic, from Open Outcry and all the other experiences that were in it. But, we saw a lot of drama during that time. We were there during the Enron days, but more importantly, we were there for 9/11 because we were smack in the middle of ground zero. And we went down pretty hard for that, but we were the first exchange to reopen.
What do you think now with everything going on in the world? It just seems like it's a constant, faster change than ever. We've got a number of things that the world's never experienced before, yet markets are skyrocketing. They're going down. In such short spans. How do we even measure it? What does your crystal ball say?
But now that things are electronic, everything is connected. Think about your body. Your body, every part of your body is connected. Well, now the world is connected as a whole. So what you're seeing with the high frequency trading and the computerized trading is that what used to happen in 2 weeks can happen now in 2 minutes. And you just have to be careful, simply because the reason why you're getting these huge swings up and down in the market is that you have less regular people in the market, less traders in the market, and more fund managers in the market. So they trade in a much different way. And what people are finding out is that there's a disconnect, especially now, between where the market is and where the world and the country is, that very few people, really understand. Today, we're down 1,000 points. It doesn't really surprise me because I questioned why we were up as much as we were to begin with.
Again, you could be reached at daviddouglasgreenberg.com. You're the president of Greenberg Capital. So what exactly do you do?
I take experiences through the risk management, through the crisis management, and through just exponential growth. And I bring that to the boards that I'm on, the startups that I'm on, or even the individual coaching that I do for high-end executives.
Excellent. And we're going to find out more about some of the startups and things that you're doing, because you know what? You're listening and watching me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. Why? Quite frankly, because it is the only place where entrepreneurs align. That's right. And we have with us David Greenberg, president of Greenberg Capital, former executive board and board member of the New York Mercantile Exchange. You can reach him by going to daviddouglasgreenberg.com, or again, of course, we'll have it on our website at Eliances.com. Again, that's Eliances.com. All right, so David, talk to us about these startups, that boards and things that you're involved with and what you're doing for the startup.
Well, it depends on each startup. Some of the startup we're looking and we're bringing in financial capital if we so choose and when we so feel that it's worth it. But also just, I've sat on as COO on some of the startups, on boards in some of the startups. And what you learn with a lot of these people that are running the startups is that they tend to have a bigger picture, but yet they don't understand how to get there in a step-by-step methodical pattern. And what I bring to the table is I'm like the no guy sometimes. I believe in a Nazi roundtable theory. You need somebody to be able to say, are you kidding? Are you out of your mind? Or maybe this isn't the best way. Because what happens in a lot of startups, they surround themselves with a lot of friends, a lot of people that are there, and they can't see it clearly.
What type of, when you're doing a selection of who you're looking to help with, what's the sweet spot that they would go ahead and contact you and said, you know what, I need his help?
Well, the sweet spots varies. It can be, I do a lot of mentoring of very young students. I'm on the board and the executive committee of Junior Achievements of South Florida. So I've done it anywhere from kids in high school to college kids, just to help them out. But on a real company level, we like to see somebody that's maybe in the second phase, not in that first phase where it's just on the drawing board, but we want to see that they're ready to either put a product out there, have a product, or ready to build their board and their organization to the next level.
Now, you've also too been a commentator for major news outlets like CNN and Fox Business News, Bloomberg, CNBC, which we had again mentioned. We had the founder of them on our Eliances Heroes radio show. What are the differences, though, between what's going on with COVID and what's going on with 911?
With 9/11, it was very personal. As I said, I was there. I lost about 24 people. And what I learned with 9/11 and the panic of 9/11, it was kind of like where you were with Ground Zero. It was an epicenter. The further you went out, the less it affected people. I mean, it affected them, but it was done. It was a horrific event, and it was done. It was one big hit, and then there was a recovery time. But it was very select for how each person handled it. With COVID, it's literally shaking everybody to the core. So this is not only a countrywide, but worldwide event that has got into the psyche of the people. And the interesting thing about the rebuilding and what concerns me about the next phase of either opening up or the next phase of the virus is simply that after 9/11, let's say nobody flew for a while. Remember, it was a while. Okay, but when you walked into the airport, you could visually see. You could see the TSA, whether they're good or not, it's another story, but you could see them. You could see the pat downs. You could see them opening up the suitcases. So when you went through that metal detector, you had the mental thought process that I am safer. What's happening now, like I'm a 9/11 survivor that's got an asthmatic cough. So I'll be out at online somewhere now and I'll do a small cough and everybody looks at me. Okay, because there are no safeguards now during this next phase. So I think the world and everybody, rightfully so, is scared, concerned. And they told us that the air quality was fine in 9/11. 3 years later, they find out, well, maybe it was not as fine as we thought it was, and we all got sick. But this is a game that's changing every day, and to be very careful and to do its best to make sure that you're safe. But it's the mindset of 9/11, and that's the same yet different.
So what do you think people should be doing now with perhaps their funds and stuff? Is it where they should be? What do people do?
If you have a money manager that they say the market's definitely going down, well, you get rid of him. If you say I have a money manager that says, oh, the market's definitely going up, you get rid of her. Okay, but if you got somebody that says, I have no clue, we have never seen this before, let's pull back, okay, and not worry about missing a rally or not worried about missing a move. That's the person you want to stick with, okay, because they're really, truly looking out for your best interests. There are times in trading, I always explain in my classes, everybody thinks there's two positions. Long, that you think the market needs to go up. Short, you want the market to go down. There's a third position that's the most important position, and that is flat. So when you can be neutral or you can step away from the market and not worry about missing it. If the market goes up 1,000 points, don't worry about it. If you live long enough, there's going to be a lot of market moves. But be patient about it. Anybody that wants my trading tip ebooks, they can email me on that website. I have it's actually a fun book to do it. No charge, it's happy to put it out there. But stay on your toes, but don't feel like you're going to miss something if you're not in the market right now.
Well, David, you help the engine, you keep this world going with your knowledge and education and everything. That takes a lot. That's a hero. David Greenberg. You can reach him, Greenberg Capital, by going to DavidDouglasGreenberg.com. Once again, DavidDouglasGreenberg.com. This has been David Kogan with the Eliances Heroes Radio Show.